Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I thought we would do my March TBR. At that time we are pretty much at the end of February and I love filming these videos, so hopefully you enjoy it. I have my TBR jar as well full of prompts. There actually aren't that many, so I feel like I need to add some more, but I think it's also because this is quite a big jar and they're folded up quite tiny. But anyway, so let's get straight into it. I didn't actually manage to read much from my February TBR, so I'm really hoping March is a bit more successful and I get some good picks. So let's pick this one, which says a blue cover. Ooh, a blue cover. Let me have a look. We have a few options. The first one is the Midnight Library, which I've had on my TBR cart for a very long time. This one, I believe it's about, I think it follows a girl called Nora who on her last day on Earth she finds herself transported to a library, and there she's given a chance to undo any of her regrets and like cash in for other lives she could have lived. So for instance, there's like this library full of books and there's one that sort of is how her life would have ended up if she pursued swimming from the age of 7, or if she did this, and like the different paths she could have taken throughout her life and where she would have ended up. So it's really, I'm really intrigued, to be honest, by this one, and it is quite short. It's like less than 300 pages, which is quite nice. Then we have Dance of Thieves. This one, by the way, this is like, they're both like navy. This one's like a navy dark blue. And Dance of Thieves I've wanted to read for a really long time. I've heard Steph, you probably all know her, I can't remember her last name, but I'll put her YouTube somewhere here, but she rated this 5 stars, I believe. She really enjoyed it and I've heard good things. I believe it's a fantasy book and it follows, I think it's like it's definitely a enemies to lovers, I believe. It says a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the next among nations, a son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power, 3 fierce young women of the Rattan, the Queen's premier guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself. And so it looks really interesting. I've heard good things, so this is another very anticipated read for me. Then we have Blue Sisters, which obviously it's not quite a complete blue cover, but I feel like number 1 has blue in the title and number 2 it has blue on the cover, and this is another anticipated read of mine. This one follows 3 sisters after the death of one of the 4th sister. I believe her name was Nikki, and they're all sort of dealing with the grief and stuff, and then they all come together back at their home in New York because it's about to be sold, and I think they're trying to stop the sale of their childhood home being put back on the market. And I think they then all come together to sort of try to deal with their grief, and it sounds like a really beautiful story, so I'm really excited about this one. And then we have Little White Lies, which is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've read the Inheritance Games series by her, and I've also read the Natural series and I loved both of them. This I believe is a duology and it's been on my TBR cart for a very long time. I feel like I'm saying that about majority of these books, minus this one because this is quite a recent purchase. But yeah, this one I believe it's quite debutante. I think it follows Sawyer, whose strange grandmother offers a share of the family fortune if she participates in the debutante season, and then I think there's like a murder and it's sort of like the mystery of it all. So it sounds really interesting. I haven't seen anything similar like this before, so this one's really intriguing. But anyway, out of the 4 I think I'm gonna go with, I can't decide. To be honest, the 2 that are grabbing my attention are Blue Sisters and Dance of Thieves. And I think I'm going to go with, why can't I decide? I'm going to go with Blue Sisters. I'm going to go with Blue Sisters because it's a bit different. Hopefully maybe I'll get a different prompt and I can put Dance of Thieves in there. So the first one on the TBR is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, if I hadn't already said. Right, the next one, trying to get a good one. I can't get that one out. I think there's 2. Yeah, there are. Put that one back. Oh, the book you're most excited for. Oh, this one's a... That's just switched to an ad. Oh, bear with me. Let me just see that right. We're back. Sorry, the fact that that turned off threw me off. Anyway, the book I'm most excited for. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that one. Right, so the options that I had were, I think I've decided. The first option I thought about was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I've read Yellowface and I've read Babel by her, and I absolutely loved both of those, so this one is a very anticipated one. Then we have Ninth House by Leah Bardugo. I really hope I'm saying that right. And this is another one I've been waiting to read because I have read Six of Crows. I think that's the only book I've read by her, but I absolutely loved that duology, so I'm really excited for this one. Then we have two that are quite similar. We've got The Secret History and If We Were Villains. I have had my eye on these for a very long time. They're obviously both dark academia. I think they're quite similar, but I just love the idea of both of them, and I love dark academia. It's probably up there, yeah, with one of my favourite genres. So these two. And then obviously we have Dance of Thieves because I was just saying how much I wanted to read it. But I think I know what I'm going to go with, and that is Ninth House by Leah Bardugo. I've just wanted to read this for so long. I've heard such good things and I'm really, really excited. So that is the second book. Right, the next, I don't know why, I just thought I had to close my eyes, but obviously they're all folded. So the next book is, well, prompt, sorry, not book. A book with magical or fantasy elements. As a girl that's favourite genre is fantasy, I am having a very good time right now. The next one we're going to go for is Dance of Thieves. Always surprised, I've nearly selected this one, both the other two prompts, and I feel like it's very clear. Wow, the font is small. Oh my gosh, can you see how small? That font is tiny, but it's not too bad. It doesn't look like it has much give, but it's got a better give than majority of UK books, so I'll take that. But yeah, I'm going to put this one on because even if I don't read it this month, hopefully I will, but it has been a highly anticipated read of mine for a very long time, and I've actually never put it on a TBR. So do you know what? I'm taking it as a sign, and I'm really excited for that. Hopefully I will get to that one. So the next one is, ooh, this little one. Oh, okay, we've got a blue cover. Seems I've put the prompt in twice. Let's remove that one. Let's go again. Right, we've got one. A book published this year. I actually don't know if I have one. I'm trying to just see what. No, 2023. When was this copy printed is a good question. Oh, 2024. I thought maybe I'd be able to get out of that. Genuinely don't think I have anything. So, I think I'm going to leave that one because I don't have one currently that I can use. So, let's go with another one. A book set in a different country. Ooh, okay. A book set in a different country. I always query this, like, does it mean, can I use like a fantasy? But that's like a different world, so I guess no, we would need to do country. Okay, done. Oh, nearly just threw them everywhere. I have one. I'm pretty sure this is set in Greece. Yes. So, I'm going to pick this one because I've actually had my eye on it for a while. So this is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I have no idea how you say that, so I do apologise for butchering that. But this one, I believe he's the author that wrote The Silent Patient, which I read that a very long time ago. I read that in lockdown, way before I actually got back into reading, to be honest, and I loved it. So I've been really intrigued to read this one, and it basically is based on a Greek island. I think I've heard people say it's similar to Knives Out, which I loved that film as well. And it basically says it begins with a phone call and it ends with a murder. 7 friends gather on an idyllic Greek island, among them a playwright, an actress, her second husband, and the wayward son. There's jealousy, betrayal, unrequited love, a handful of secrets, and too many lies. 36 hours after they arrive, one of them will be dead. So it's like a thriller. And you know what? I feel that's a good mix between like what we've got currently. So I'm very happy about this one. Right, so we currently have 4. I think I'm going to do 6. I mean, I will stray from this and I will mood read. But 6 is like a nice number to play with, I think. So then I have like enough options. So I can hopefully maybe stick to it a bit more than I did last month, because I think I probably read like 1 or 2 from my TBR last month, so it wasn't as successful. Oh, colour wheel chooses. Okay, this is exciting. Where's my phone? Oh, it's over here. Hold on. Oh, perfect. So we've got pretty much every colour you can think of, basically. Oh, yeah, I'm in focus. Yeah, we've got basically every colour you can think of, so I'm just going to press spin. Okay, I didn't spin. Spin, there we go. I'm not going to look. Camera eats first. What colour do we have? Purple, okay. Oh, I've just remembered there are actually books on this shelf that are also on my TBR. And there's 1 or 2 that are purple, so let me grab that. I'm going to grab all the purple books and then we will have a look and see which one we're going to pick. So I've gathered all my purple books. So the first one we have is The List by Yomi, or I have no idea, Adagoke? I have no idea how you pronounce that last name, so I do apologise. But it basically follows a girl called Ola, who's a high profile journalist, and she's marrying the love of her life in a month's time, and then I believe there's this list that's been posted online, and it's basically like an allegation list of abusive men, and her fiance happens to be on the list. So it sounds really interesting. I've never read a book that's sort of along this premise, so I feel like it could be really, really interesting. And I've had this for a long time, so I feel like that would be good to get off. I then have Play Along by Liz Tom Ford, but I actually haven't read any of the other books. I just saw this in the works, and I know this one's meant to be amazing, so I picked it up. But I do think I want to read 2 and 3. I think this is the 4th one. So I do want to read Right Move and Caught Up prior. I don't want to read Mile High because I've not had great things. So, and I don't want to be thrown off it. So I'm going to do the other 2 first. So I don't really want to read this one. Then we have Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I love Olivia Blake. I finished actually the Atlas trilogy in a different video, continuing series I'm in the middle of. So watch that if you want to go find out my thoughts. But I really enjoyed some books from that series, that's all I'm going to say. And this one follows a girl called Viola, who's a struggling estate agent, and she's a vampire. I mean, it sounds so cool, straight from the get-go. And I think there's like a ghost in the mansion that she's trying to sell, and he won't leave the house until she's solved his murder. So it just sounds really, really intriguing and just like a good read. Then we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. I read Wildfire, oh no, this month actually, another one I read in the continuing series, and I didn't love it that much. Watch that if you want my full thoughts. But I have heard this one's meant to be really good, and I feel like this one might be the one I love the most, so I'm really excited to read that one. And then lastly I have The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. This is another series I need to finish. I read the first one back in probably 2023, so I do need to, I mean, I know what it was about, but this is quite a hard-hitting book, so I don't know if I'm ready to go back into this just yet. So out of these 4, because I'm going to take out the other one, and based on what I've got so far, so far we've got 1 literary fiction, 2 fantasies and a thriller, so we've got a very big mix. Do I want a 3rd fantasy, or do I want to be... God, my brother is so loud on this game. Do you know what, I think I'm going to go with... It's either between Daydream or The List, because I'm thinking literary fiction, nice break, but will I want a romance? Oh, it sounds a bit... Do I want the moments? How long is this? This is like 400, let's see. This is under 400, but I don't have very many long books. Okay, I've decided I'm going to go with the list because this has been on my TBR for longer and I only just read a Hannah Grace book, so I feel like this one would be a better option, and this is an author I've never read from, so I feel like that's the best option. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, this is going to be the last one I pick for March. Let's pray for a good prompt. Please be a good one. Oh, a pink cover. Okay, what pink covers do I have? Oh, I have this one. Immediately finds a pink cover. Let's see. So the first one I've got is The Murder After the Night Before. I actually don't know much about this. I believe it's this, a woman wakes up like with the worst hangover, a stranger's in her bed, and she's gone viral for like all these bad reasons, and then she ends up finding out her best friend is dead, and the police think it was an accident, but she thinks her friend was murdered, and I believe it's like a bit of a mystery. So this one sounds quite good, but obviously I already have kind of like a murder kind of mystery one with that one, so I feel like maybe not the best timing for this one. Then I have Seven Summers by Paige Toon. I'm so excited to read this one. I'm sure you all know Lily Grace. I've been watching her YouTube and her TikToks for a very long time now, and she absolutely loved this one. But I feel like I do want to read this in summer. This is a very anticipated read because I was going to read it last summer and then I just never got around to it, and I feel like this is one I want to read. As soon as the sun comes out, it'll be on a high priority for me to pick up, but it's just not quite yet. So the last one I have, which is the one I think we're going to go for, is the Happy Ever, I always say never, the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I absolutely love Abby Jimenez. She's one of my favourite authors, and I feel like a romance is a nice break between what we've got so far, and her books are so fast paced. I just love her characters so much. I actually haven't read much by her. I know this is a different trilogy. I think the next one, yeah, is The Friend Zone. I've read Just for the Summer, but I never read the first two because I wasn't aware it was an internet-connected standalone series. So I'm hoping to pick the other two up sometime this summer. So I've at least read all three, and then I think this is the first one. So at least I'm going from the start with this one. And it has been on my list for a very long time. And I actually got it from TK Maxx for £2.99. So what an absolute bargain. And can I just say, I'm very happy with this month's TBR. I actually feel like I'm probably the most positive about it that I have been in a very long time. So these are the 6, I believe, yeah, we're gonna stick with. Hopefully I'll get round to them, but obviously just quick fire, what we've got is obviously the Happily, it's not Happily, that's why I keep getting it wrong. The Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. We have The Fury by Alex. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name again, but Alex. And then we've got The List by Yomi, and again I don't even want to butcher the last name, so I'm really sorry. Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Ninth House by Leah Bardugo, and Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. So they are the books hopefully I will get around to in March. Please let me know if you've read any of them, your thoughts, your reviews, your opinions, if you plan to read any of them, or if you think I'll like them. Please let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'm sure there'll be a reading vlog, or I'll be filming at least reading some of these, so hopefully soon you'll get very good thoughts and emotions and opinions on these books, and thank you so much.